Hey, I shouldn't be telling you this, but if you skip this part of the video, you will miss out on the deal of a lifetime. If you click the link in the description, you will see that Atlas VPN are giving out an offer to get a 3-year subscription for just $1.83 per month. That's less than Netflix's latest price increase. Plus, it comes with 3 months for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's the best VPN on the market, and you can use it to watch shows that are not available on streaming services in your country. So you can watch Friends on UK Netflix, no matter where you are in the world, as long as you have a subscription to Netflix. You can even use it on unlimited devices, so everyone in your house can watch Friends on UK Netflix at once. And they keep your searches private, so that we'll all finally stop spying on you. But remember, time is of the essence if you want to get this offer. Just $1.83 per month to get a 3-year subscription by clicking the link in the description below.
I found out my father was messaging underage girls and I'm at a complete loss. As the title says, I, 22F, found out from my mother that my father was messaging underage girls. Luckily, my father is dead, so no further children can be harmed, but to say this rattled me would be an understatement. I was sexually abused in school by a peer around the ages of 12–13, and I won't lie, it really messed me up. Though my father made many mistakes the last few years of his life, abusing substances and leaving us penniless at times, I made peace with him, and finally after years I was almost proud to have him as my father. I even got a tattoo to celebrate his life, as by the end I thought he was a changed man. But this news has torn me apart, made me feel absolutely disgusted. I shared DNA with this man and loved him for years when he looked at girls my age like that. I know the pain of being abused, and the fact my own father did that is unforgivable. I don't know how I can move on in my life knowing this news, and how I'll be ever able to move past this with my mother. The fact she knew about this and didn't do anything disgusts me, as she knows I had been abused at a similar age haunts me. I apologize if this is wrong subreddit for this, but any advice or direction would be greatly appreciated. Why is your mom telling you this now? There's nothing positive in it for you. I'm sorry, your dad may not have been the person you thought. I can't imagine how you're feeling about this news. Your mother's moral compass doesn't exactly point north. Neither do your siblings if they knew about it at the time. That's guilt by complacency, and it's something just as bad as the act itself. I see why you are so upset. And it also causes trust issues, as in whether you would trust them to deal with your sensitive information and personal well-being properly. I hope you find a way to move out soon. Sounds like an abusive overshare on mom's part. Especially because dad cannot defend or explain himself. I also don't understand what she intended you to do with that info. Does she have proof of this? I ask because I know my mom spews lies all the time, and I always had to ask for proof. I wouldn't look at your dad as a scumbag unless you knew for sure this was true. Me and my boyfriend got in a fight and he slept with someone else. My boyfriend, 24 male, and I, 21 female, got in a fight and I IF'd his house angry. I didn't talk to him for 4 days and he slept with someone else because he thought I just ghosted him. Is he in the wrong? Too long did not read. Boyfriend slept with someone else because I didn't talk to him for a week. Edit: I think it was 4 days at most, and I don't think it was even 4 days IDK though. He said it was a week. I just couldn't find a gap of a 1 week in our messages during that time period. Our streak on Snapchat also never died. I also don't remember ever not talking to him for a week straight. I just don't know. A week is what he told me. Edit: I just found out after 6 months IDK if I told him I needed space. Edit: the fight was about him going no my phone 4 times and also about me not blocking my guy friend who was only a friend by the way. He found nothing in our messages the 4–5 times he went though my phone without asking. I only got mad because he looked at my embarrassing search history. Main reason he was worried and went though my phone so many times was because I wouldn't block my guy friend. I feel like it's my fault because I didn't block him IDK. Did you block him? Refused to answer any calls or messages? Even if you did, I don't know how severe this argument was, or what was said before you left, but if it was anything less than, never speak to me again, or, I don't want to see you again, this sounds like a lame excuse. Honestly, you both need to break up and grow up and mature. This just sounds like such an immature toxic relationship. Yeah, I would say he royally fucked up. I can promise you it wasn't the first or last time he slept with someone else. Thus his projection and claiming you chested. He's a cheater. Dump him. Move on, love. He's a whole lot of things you can and should do without. There is no going back now. Yes, he was wrong and he will never be able to make it up to you. Break up and move on. Wife wants to go on a big trip and I have some reservations. My wife, 38 female, and I, 36 male, have got into a pretty big fight and I don't have any unbiased places to turn to for advice, so I have come here. Can you help me, Reddit? A few days ago, my wife of 8 years asked if she could go on a trip to Europe with her mother. The cost of the trip is around $4,200. It's an all-inclusive trip as far as I understand, and the cost will not go up. She is a stay-at-home mom and we have 2 kids in school. With the nature of my job, it would be very tough to juggle getting them to and from school, and so I would likely need to take time off work to make it work. Alternatively, we could hire a babysitter for the week, however that would end up increasing the cost substantially. Also, since I only have so much vacation time, this would make it difficult to plan a vacation around that time of the year. We were thinking of visiting friends for a week in another part of the country, U.S. Financial situation: I am a high earner, over $300,000 per year. Unfortunately, to get to this point I had to go through a lot of school and now I have a ton of student loan debt. When you balance everything out, we have a net worth of negative $180,000. We won't be at $0 for another 18-24 months at least. I am also hoping to FIRE, which requires saving a lot of money. She is aware of this but doesn't seem to have much interest in the subject. Although she is a stay-at-home mom, she does not want to be. She has had to sacrifice her career to follow me through training. Now that we have 2 kids, she is unable to work as their schedules are difficult and we have no family close by to help. I've recommended we move closer to family, but she doesn't seem to be interested in that option. A few other points. She goes on a yearly girls' trip and has done so for a few years now. I have expressed my interest in going to Europe in the future. I have never been out of North America and would love to go at some point. I think the kids could handle it in a year or 2. She strongly disagrees with that. I want to go on 2 vacations each year with my kids. In my mind, if she were to go to Europe, then it would make that impossible, irresponsible next year. Her mother is a widow and has lost both her parents in the past few years. Very stressful past few years. We see her mother every 1-2 months at least and have gone with her on family vacations multiple times in the past. So when she brought up the subject, I tried to be very kind and understanding, but I brought up the negatives such as the cost, the logistics, and later on my desire to go on a trip like that too. I recommended a smaller, cheaper trip, just the 2 of them, and I suggested that we wait a year or 2 and take me and the kids as well. She didn't like those options, and unfortunately this has spiraled into one of the biggest disagreements we have ever had in 10 years. I am at a loss on how to turn the situation around. Any advice? Too long did not read. Wife wants to go to Europe with her mom. I had some financial, logistical, and personal reservations and now we are in a huge fight. I think it's important for you to consider that you are telling her that you don't see her 7-year sacrifice for you as worthy of a trip. That with your Salati want long-term offset your economy. With her elderly mother who's had a rough couple of years and is getting so old that this might be their last chance. She gave up her career for you. You guys are a team. If you dictate that she can't take this trip, this could be the sacrifice that breaks the camel's back and start her down a path of resentment. Decide accordingly. You wrote a lot about your own goals and financial interests. You stated your own reasons and wants. What I notice is missing here are your wife's reasons, wants, and goals. You haven't explained why your wife wants to go on this trip. This is a very important point, and it needs to be forefront in your mind. Why does she want to go so badly? What is it that is so important to your wife that she would leave her children, at great expense? Why does this matter to her? My coworker has been farting a lot. Recently my coworker has been farting a lot. What are the implications of this? For more context, it all started when we were working together and she passed gas. I laughed because I thought she did it with her mouth before noticing the smell. She was embarrassed, but when I laughed her mood switched and she said, "Oh, you like that, huh?" I didn't know how to reply. Ever since that point she has been really letting it rip all the time, sometimes even drawing attention to it by giving warning beforehand and requesting silence. She'll often say stuff like, "That was like a car horn," or, "That's a real stinker," complimenting the sound and smell of her flatulence. As far as I can tell she only does this when I'm around. Is this a sign she might be interested in me? I am not sure and would hate to misinterpret it anything. One up her and shit on the floor. She obviously challenges you. You need to stand up for yourself. When she rips one, you rip a bigger one. Whoa there, Romeo. Perhaps she's marking you as her territory? This app never fails to surprise me. What the fuck, man? Ask her if she has brothers. This may be what she thinks guys like to do, lol.